We're checking into Psyck.
Sick.
Yo, check it out. It's a Psyck Discussion.
You tuned in to Psyck Discussions. You are now listening to a Psyck Discussion.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Psyck Discussion.
Sick.
As always, it's your boy Reggie So Dope.
What up, it's Devin.
What's going on, y'all? This Marv.
And it's Sam Dink IV, you already know.
And we are doing something so special right now, it might bring a tear to my eye. To be able to mix this sophisticated ignorance with the homies is just something else.
Yeah.
First ever crossover episode. We got the guys podcast in the building.
In the building.
And so I've already introduced me.
Yeah.
But can y'all introduce yourselves?
Well, this is
That granddaddy ass boy.
Well,
Get out my grass.
this is
Really?
this is Rock Beezy.
Rock Baby.
Easy.
Never went by that.
What's this?
Podcast knew him.
Announce yourself.
Hey y'all, this is Shay. You know, follow me on Instagram at @YoBroThatShay.
What up, y'all? It's Playboy Sal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, and so today's conversation is going to be a good one. Right? We're going to talk about motivation.
Okay.
But not just regular motivation. We ain't talking about Jeezy. This ain't no Kelly Rowland.
Yeah.
We getting psychological here. You know what I mean? So
Real sick with it.
we're going to talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation.
Okay, better.
And so we're going to kick it off, man. What the fuck is intrinsic motivation?
Exactly.
It's a big ass word right there.
It is.
Sound crazy when you break it
I had to
down.
research that shit.
Oh man.
Just a couple of times.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take y'all shot at it.
I mean, shit, I feel like that intrinsic, right, is telling yourself to hustle. Like the voice on the inside. It's like, what's good? Like,
Hustle,
what's
nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Left shoulder, right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Push.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what that shit mean, but we gonna figure it out today. I agree. I agree with my boy saying I feel like it's something.
I agree.
Inside,
You gotta respect the honest nigga.
you know, that's
You really
inside.
do.
That is.
Look, I got you, J-Rock.
You got me.
The doctor gonna step in. Cause you feel me?
Dr. Sal.
Dr.
Yeah.
Sal.
Basically, my man said intrinsic motivation. That's like motivation that comes from self-fulfillment and things like that. You know, as a psychology PhD, not BS. PhD. You feel me?
Tell him. Okay.
I know what's going
Credentials.
on in this era right now.
That's
So
why
like
you
I said,
here.
intrinsic, it comes from self-fulfillment, things that you want to do just because of like the nature and like genuine of you liking to do it and things like that. It ain't no external reward that comes from it. It's like it's really genuine, something that you just enjoy doing. Like if you just like to read, you read type shit. You feel me? Some shit like that. Or like, for let's say like, Devin, you remember we just like to play basketball in the park? It ain't matter like how good you was or anything like that.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy, like. Cause I was the same way, but like intrinsically, I just wanted to play basketball, even though I was dead ass weak as shit. You feel me? So no, that's what I was trying to relate.
Okay, Sal, you hit it right on the head, man. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and read the definition from healthline.com. So it say intrinsic motivation is the act of doing something without any obvious external rewards. You do it because you enjoy it and because you're interested, rather than it being like an outside incentive or pressure to do it, like a deadline. So this is something without a deadline. It's not a reward. It just makes you feel good. And even in using your reading definition, right, it's because you enjoy reading books rather than you have to read this book to write a report or to pass a class, right? So it's something that genuinely makes you feel good.
Feel good.
For you.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
So that was the first piece, right? So now what about extrinsic? If that is intrinsic motivation, what is extrinsic motivation?
Take a wild guess, Devin.
I'm gonna just say.
All that context clues.
I'm gonna just say you get a gift or something for doing the
A gift.
task, a gift, a reward,
A little picture that keeps moving.
Super fast.
accolade.
Okay, all right, I like where you went with that. Guys, y'all got anything?
I agree with Devin.
Mark, Swab got some.
No, that's why he talking. That's why he talking to me so fast.
Dr. Sal, what you got for us?
All right, the doctor coming in for next segment. So my man said extrinsic value, right? That comes from the stem of we all want to get paid, so we all gonna go to work. So you feel me? We gonna do whatever job it is. I remember mopping floors because I wanted that little $7.50 an hour when I was 7th grade. See, so I know. From that extrinsic, you got to work hard to get what you want. Whenever you got to put in that work, think of that you doing something extrinsically for sure.
Okay, I like Dr. Sal, man. Dr. Sal is in the building, so it's good definition.
Thank you, Sal.
Again, from Healthline, they say extrinsic motivation is a reward-driven behavior. It's a type of operant conditioning. Like, that's real psychological, right? Operant conditioning is a form of behavior modification that uses rewards or punishment to increase or decrease the likelihood that specific behavior occurs. So just like he said, in extrinsic motivation, rewards or other incentives like praise, fame, or money are used as the motivator for those activities. Is just an external factor.
Say money.
That boy Reggie
all of
Say money.
You know what I mean? So we just started this off professional as shit, just for that to be as good as it's gonna get. So, question for the niggas in the room: is one more important than the other? Why or why the fuck not?
I'm gonna just say this because I was really going back and forth with this shit. With this talking point, I was like, nah, the intrinsic really gotta but the extrinsic, but I came to a conclusion, right? Extrinsic motivation, I feel, is more. It's better. Why?
Go deeper.
Right, let's go deeper, right? Cool. In a lot of situations, people be like, oh, why did I do this? My family, right? Extrinsic. Oh, my bank account is looking low. Extrinsic. I need to build it up. Boom. Literally, people see and they want. And it's and your intrinsic has to be strong enough to will yourself into doing these things. But if you don't know, if you don't necessarily see those things, right? Your intrinsic might fall to the wayside and you might be not inept, but just okay.
Yes, sleep.
Right, you just might be okay.
Sleepyhead.
You're okay with what you got.
Sleepyhead.
Sleepy.
Don't ever
Okay,
get
wait.
too
Say the
comfortable.
words again. We got intrinsic,
Internal. Extrinsic.
Yeah.
X.
So I just seen Cardi B got a Bentley. I want a Bentley too. Maybe I should get in the studio.
So that's what motivates you to see other people with
Nice
money.
car.
It doesn't necessarily have to, in my opinion, it doesn't necessarily have to be other people. You could be looking at your own bank account and being like, I don't like having 25 cents in my shit.
Damn.
I want to have a stack in my shit.
And so that's why you feel it's better because it helps you, it motivates you more.
I think
to
it
see
I think it motivates your intrinsic. I think your extrinsic motivates your intrinsic.
Honestly, I think they both equal.
I disagree with that.
That's okay.
I mean, I agree.
Let's make a point.
What you say, Shay?
I think they both is equal. I can't necessarily say one is better or one is,
Yin and yang.
yeah, because they both. It's like Dr. Sal said, yin and yang. It's like how the universe works, how we revolve. It's like you have to have one and the other for it to work out. Because honestly, if I just go off what I see, I'm gonna burn out. And I'm gonna be like, I don't want to do this shit no more.
That's what's wrong with social media nowadays. They see it. That's what they motivated by.
Exactly. And so sometimes you need that intrinsic.
Okay.
Snap for me. Thank you, Rob. And sometimes you need that to fulfill yourself, because when you see progress within yourself, it makes you keep going more. I was going to ask the question, is working out intrinsic or extrinsic? Because can it turn? So it's
It depends on that person though, because if you are just working out because you love working out, that's intrinsic. If you working out because you tired of looking fat as hell on your Instagram, that's extreme.
Right, and it can be, I don't know, that's what I'm saying. I think both is equally important. You need both. Like, you need, because one is like, you see it, I want it, I'm going to get it. And then one is like, I need this for myself to make me happy, to make me motivated. So I can't necessarily say one is better than the other.
Right. I agree with her though. And here's what I said. She made a good point, and I would say I would disagree with Sam, because I feel like I would say the intrinsic is more important to me, because I think that can drive your extrinsic. So say like how he was saying, the doctor, I'm reading because I love medicine or whatever. That's my interest. So I'm learning, but that goal or that interest is gonna push me to go for that extra. I'm trying to be a doctor, and that's where the money comes or whatever. So I feel like the interest, your personal interest, like you getting that personal fulfillment, that can definitely drive your extrinsic. Like prime example, I don't want to do this, but I love to skate. I love to do it just because I love to do it. Like that's just something I love to do.
Facts.
So that could definitely drive it. I love it so much. I want to
If y'all
learn to
ain't-
get my own ring.
If
You
y'all
know what I'm saying?
ain't-
So like
y'all ain't
personal
know.
interest could develop that extra. I feel like that kind of leads you personally, your personal interest, and then you grind from there.
Yeah, and even to piggyback on that, me personally, I think I'm pretty intrinsic. I think that's how do you say it? Intrinsic.
Yeah, these words is tricky.
When it comes to like graphic design, photography, I like to do those things. So like I'm motivated to do those things.
Right.
So when I do those things, I can like either I do it personally or on my Instagram page, got my own creative shots, or when I need money, well, not need money technically, but when I
Big money.
Big money.
when I want to
make it
do
there.
photography for other people or like events or something, I can do that to provide an income.
I have a question.
So,
Devin got $3 signs next to his
Definitely do. DEVIN dollar. I have a question though. So, what put you on the graphic design, or what put you on to skating? Was it something you saw? Did you see David LaChapelle and be like,
David
damn, that shit raw, I want to do that shit?
I mean, everything stems from learned behavior. My bad, but go ahead.
no, yeah.
I don't even want to do
And that is my point.
That
That is my point. I really battled with this. So I'm going to let y'all go ahead, though. But I just want to know where graphic design and where skating came from.
Graphic design for me started in non-graphic design way. Watching like Dragon Ball Z, I would always draw like Goku and all these other characters. Then eventually in high school, I took like a Photoshop class, and I was like, oh, I like this too. Then I started doing like illustrations, so the drawings became Photoshop, Illustrator, all those things. And then eventually I was like, oh, I really like this, so I might as well figure out a way to make a career out of it.
Boom.
If y'all ain't never took a photography class, photography be busting.
Yeah.
It definitely
do.
Photography
I
be
dropped that
busting
bit.
like a month.
No,
That was my
photography is
interest.
it is hard. It can be hard. I did it because I was bored.
The rule of thirds.
I was bored and I wanted a hobby, and like I didn't necessarily see anybody doing it. I was just like, either it's gonna be this or painting. I prefer to get less messy, so I'm just gonna do photography. And so the intrinsic.
There you go. You got it.
You got too much in these cups. You don't want these words.
It's intrinsic, right? But it's either gonna be in or X. But
it was-
intrinsic is still there.
Yeah, I think I was.
Suffix.
I had intrinsic motivation because I wanted to get better, and then like I think the extrinsic came when I started getting more popular and people started noticing my work. But like I said, that can burn you out, because it's like when you do things that's a passion and it goes and you monetize it, it can it can fuck you up. Yeah.
See,
I'm good for a whole. I'm not designing anything for a good 2 months. Do not contact me.
Hey.
Sure is. Rock, what about you? Do you feel like one's more important than the other?
Nah, I feel like both of them is equally equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, same thing. Like if you see, sometimes when you see stuff, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't believe it, but that little person in you, if you see it, that's like becoming like a creative passion. Hell yeah, that shit could become an extrinsic. Like for me, like on some movie shit, like I don't want no bread from it, but I know in the long run I'm getting that shit. I'm actually been, and then when I did this shit and I got some bread from it, I'm like, oh shit, this shit really works off of just merch. So I just feel like that shit. I agree with Shay.
Yeah, it can start off as intrinsic and then lead to extrinsic.
Yeah.
That's when you start getting like fame and clout and money from it, it motivates you more. But you know, you got to be careful with that.
Right. I definitely was gonna say it don't have to be money. It could be, damn, I just got the red rope open for me and I just walked up to the door. I don't have to wait in line. But I'm gonna be real hotep real quick, right? We can define the term, right? We can take intrinsic and extrinsic, right? And we can remove the pre part of it and the post part of it, and what we have is trend.
Deep.
I don't feel that way.
No, we don't.
I just want you to know.
Somebody confirm or deny this.
That was real deep.
Hey,
Where's Dr.
hey,
Sal? I truthfully thought he was gonna take us somewhere.
Going nowhere.
But
ready
like
to
you
be
said,
blown away. I was.
like you said, it is learned behavior.
Oh, without a doubt.
So that's where I make my stand on the extrinsic part of it.
I think.
And I don't think it has to be very
Why are you
superficial
talking like this?
or shallow.
This whole taffy is shit.
You feel me? Thank you. Trend. Boom. It follows a trend. Oh, so and so did this. So, not. I'm following this person, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
On the side of defending J-Rock and Shay, really, like as entrepreneurs, I can say this: as an entrepreneur, you're gonna be intrinsically motivated because you want to get good at your craft. You feel me? So like, that's gonna always stem from yourself, aka learned behavior. It's the hustle. It's the hunger. That's what it is, really. When it comes down to it, some people got it, some people don't. You want to get good at the craft, and then you monetize the craft, like you said, extrinsic. Truthfully, there's no order in how they go, but like in the rules, well, not in the rules, but like in the thoughts of, you know, an entrepreneur and things like that, you can see how it goes from being internal to being like, all right, I want to share this with the world. Motherfuckers gonna have to, feel me, come for this. Now it's external. I'm getting the fame, getting the reward and everything. And then, you know, it could also stem going backwards too. You feel me? At first, you could be like, all right, I want to do this because, you know, I want to be known for being good at digital marketing, for example, you feel me? But like digital marketing doesn't bring you happiness. It doesn't bring you genuine, whatchamacallit, it's a workhorse, you hate doing it type shit, you feel me? Now you extrinsically motivated, but you're not intrinsically motivated. Cause it's like you have I have no want to do this, you feel me?
Yeah.
I do it just because. So it can stem both ways, and then like the order can go in either order.
I have a question.
Talk to me.
Wait, did you have a question, Reggie?
Oh no, but no, your question's more important.
Okay, here we go.
You the
So
guest.
the question I had was like, which motivation do you think would take you further? Like if you just go off extrinsic, if you go off like how you said, I want to be known for this, I want money for this, that's why I'm doing it. Or if it's like, I just want to be self-fulfilled, which one would think you would go further with?
I gotta answer. Oh, go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna say to jump in. I personally think intrinsic is going to win every time, right? Because we've seen so many amazing people like Robin Williams and so many other comedians or just wealthy people who started doing something they love and went into monetization, and somehow they still felt so empty inside that they chose to take their own life. Right? And so like with intrinsic, as long as you are still doing things that makes you happy, that makes you feel good, something that's exclusive with you and yourself, I think that will always take you further than the extrinsic. That's where I am with it personally.
Yeah, I agree, because you know, just growing up and just learning. I mean, like you said, like Sal said, Dr. Sal. Like Sal said,
Thank you.
like Sal said, like it's a learned behavior. And by that learned behavior, like, you know, I listen to a lot of J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? And I think when he turned,
Shout out to Dreamville.
you know,
Shout out to Dreamville.
and when it transitioned, when he was this, you know, this artist where it was like, okay, I'm doing it for this. But if you read his story, you really like fuck with him, you learn him. He's not doing this shit for the money. He's doing this shit because he loves this shit. It's intrinsic, right?
Right.
So I agree with you. That shit wins it all, because sometimes when we do our gifts, we don't even actually. That's a learned behavior as well, because some people do it and they just do it and they just like, my whole house is full of what I believe. You know what I'm saying? What I believe in, and niggas don't get no type of check off it. But in the outer source, when shit comes back and niggas like, yo, you need to charge that shit, charge high for that, and charge it. It's like, nah, nigga, I just do this shit off the love. So I agree
Would
with
you
you,
do
bro.
it for the love?
And just because I'm mainly outspoken on the intrinsic part, I believe that the intrinsic will take you further.
Yeah.
But then it becomes a battle of like, okay, training wheels. I wouldn't have been able to ride a bike without training wheels, right? And that that extrinsic, right, could have been that initial introduction of that learned behavior to your ability to take that intrinsic value further. And that's what I really struggled with while I was going back and forth. I'm like, wow, my intrinsic value pushed my, not value, intrinsic motivation.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
We're back at
okay.
52. But yes, my intrinsic motivation continuously pushes me. But I feel like you can't forget your roots.
Yeah.
At all.
And what were those?
I got a picture of me as a baby on my home screen. Shows me where I came from.
Every day.
That's my roots, right
Your
there.
mama?
I
Your
got a
mama?
picture.
No, it's me as a baby.
No, but you said showing where you came from. You came from your mama?
Yeah.
Whoa. She's funny.
What the fuck? All right, so let's dig a little.
I got
deeper,
where you were
man.
going with that.
Yeah.
Let's dig a little deeper. Let's make it personal, right? So what are some ways that y'all as individuals like remain motivated? Because I heard burnout come up a lot, right? And we are battling right now with like, man, is it extrinsic? Is it intrinsic? So like, what are the things that personally keep y'all motivated?
Life. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's, and I don't know if that shit sound.
facts.
I don't know if that
Super
shit.
facts.
You know, I don't know.
Super facts.
I don't know if that shit sound cliche, but I think it's life. I think it's just what you learn and what you see every day. Like shit that's happening every day. You live through it. You pray through it. You actually experience the shit, and it's like, damn, bro, the shit I'm doing now. Who would have thought I'd be doing that shit like
mama.
5 years ago, before college, in college, after college, post grad, shit like that. So it's like I feel like it's life in its whole entirety. Like that what motivates me a little bit. It might sound cliche. Let me get a little
It
deeper.
definitely.
I was gonna ask you. So is that intrinsic or extrinsic?
I think it's intrinsic, G.
Cliche.
I think I got a little spiritual when I've been spiritual in a sense. We ain't even getting into that, but I've been there. I think from that realm of thinking, I'd be on some folk. The trees green as hell. Okay, bet the ocean. I was just in LA at fucking Venice. The ocean just like green blue-ish type shit. It was just crazy. I'm like, wow, bro, look at God, bro. And then to go back to the crib and be like, fuck, look at all this shit's happening in the world, though. Yeah. So I feel like life is just, it keep pushes to give you images, to give you type of creativity that you could just, create on your own.
Okay, Rock, we might give you your PhD today too then.
Right.
That was deep. Okay. So, who else? So say like what keeps you motivated, but then if you can, like tell us if it's intrinsic or extrinsic.
I just don't want to be a bum.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Like, I just don't want to see I just don't want to see myself 5 years from now, like, being a bum. Like,
Hey.
come on, bitch. Like, you got more than what you could offer right now. That's what keeps me motivated. It's like, I can't be a bum. I can't disappoint myself. And that's intrinsic. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm very intrinsic when it comes to motivation. I can't disappoint myself. And, like, I can't settle. Because I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like, no, I can't be a bum bitch. Sorry.
I relate with that so much. That's why I always felt like my intrinsic carried weight.
It do. It sound like you fighting with yourself. You don't want to believe you're intrinsically motivated.
No. I always said the intrinsic was the stronger one.
Okay, factual.
Okay.
Super
Right?
factual,
I always
super
said, but I feel like maybe the extrinsic is more important. But we moved on to another question.
You ain't got to play devil's advocate.
to another talking point,
Yeah.
right? Which was ways we remain motivated, and I think some of those are back to the roots, right? So those success stories, like literally, I went to a panel, and the panel was pertinent to basically it was an inspirational panel, right? And basically what happened on the panel was it was a bunch of successful people talking about their journeys. Some people were like, oh yeah, I took 4 years of college and then I took 8 years of college and then I XYZ. There was this one dude on the panel, literally he was like, I dropped out of school after the 8th grade. And all I did, I told my parents I wanted to be homeschooled, and really my version of homeschooling was I'm going to read all these autobiographies of successful people. So he read like Benjamin Franklin, he read right Thomas Jefferson, he read like all these other people that like motivated him. It could have been a dual intrinsic extrinsic, like, oh, okay, I hear this story from this person, I can do this myself, let me solve the issue. So that's where I go. I just choose to use other motivating stories, right? Dreamville, boom.
Yeah.
Literally, it's in the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
So I think my motivation from like you said, what keeps me motivated and whatchamacallit, right, is the future, truthfully, because I always know something in the future is gonna be better than what's going on right now. And I quote my man RR, that's Rick Ross, if y'all ain't know. He said, you know where we came from, right? He said, you know where we came from, so look where we at right now. And that just shows you, like, in the future we gonna be in a better spot than we is right now. So intrinsically,
Looks around.
intrinsically, you feel me, I'm motivated to do good so I can be in that better spot later. Like I said, it's that hustler mentality. You either got it or you don't. Some people get too comfortable.
Yeah.
And intrinsically, you know, that fire burn out because they too comfortable. Like Rock said, they get too comfortable and it ain't it for them no more. Extrinsically, they want to be that, but they ain't that.
Ain't that church?
You need to get back to your intrinsic side and start working on yourself. Motherfuckers be out here talking about toxic. Intrinsically, you want to heal. Heal yourself.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay. So the silence that just loomed over us as a fly just flew in Devin's cup. I was about to try to like fly it away, and I was like, "Fuck it, it's yours." I just let the look. He done called the homie. So, all right, cool. We gonna keep it pushing. Damn, Suave. Same question.
Yeah, personally, what motivates me is myself. If it doesn't motivate me, then I really don't want to do it. I don't know if that's bad or not, but like if it doesn't make me, like, I always put my happiness first. A couple years ago, I always make sure like everybody else happy and stuff like that. But then I found myself kind of being depressed. And then it's like I realized I have to put myself first, basically, and that's when I just felt like I'm more intrinsically motivated.
Say it 2 times for me.
Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna throw it to Marv.
Okay, throw me the bro. Nah, honestly saying, like what y'all was saying, I think mine is just more like intrinsic. Like you said, just to be better. Just to, but I think I wasn't always this way. Going back to like what Shay said, I realized more recently, probably over the last few months, like I get burnt out when I'm trying to do something for like rewards, is like just like people to praise me. So if I'm like, I like to skate. If I'm trying to skate because I want to post a video and get likes, like okay, I'm not enjoying it no more. If I'm working out to post a picture, so like people are all like, I see you out here getting swole, like, I'm going to get burnt out. So I feel like that intrinsic is just more important to me. Like it just makes me want to keep pushing and just get a little bit better. So that's what it is for me.
It's great to be in that great headspace right there, for sure.
It's really hard though.
It's hard to get in that though.
It's
It's hard to get in that. Society deteriorates that situation where it's that it's all you fucking see. We are in a social media millennial where it's like we all get on our phones, and it's been like that for 10 plus some years. So we can't blame the person for that situation, but you know, you intrinsically listen to podcasts, you listen to different
Outlets.
Yeah, and just let them, and the outlets is letting you know, like, yo, you could do this shit different. Like, if you don't love that shit, don't gotta do that shit.
Yeah, and sometimes, you gotta take that break. You gotta do that social media fast if you get burnt out. You gotta sit and just talk to God. You gotta sit and write in your journal. You gotta sit and meditate. You just gotta really take that time for yourself to get back motivated to do what you want to do. Because, like you said, we in a generation where everything is on social media, and you see this person doing that. or this person doing that where you want to be at, and you just get so discouraged. But sometimes it depends on the person. Somebody get discouraged, somebody else get motivated, and that can be extrinsic. There we go.
I agree with that. I want to touch on one more thing. The reason why I say I start to focus more on the intrinsic because I realized, like Shay said, like someone may get motivated by looking at outside sources. I realized I wasn't getting nothing done at all. Like,
I watch it for somebody
like,
else.
I'm looking at like motherfuckers like going crazy, like motivational speaking or selling shirts. I'm like, oh, I should try that. I should try this, but knowing damn well like that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. And like I'm bouncing from like hobby to hobby or like interest to interest. And I realized like I'm not getting shit that I have planned as goals done. So I'm like I'm back in the same spot. Like so let me focus on like what I'm really trying to do for that personal gain. And that's when I realized like okay, I'm actually seeing some growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm sorry, I just keep talking.
Nah, go crazy.
Do your shit,
With
sis.
that and
Do your
with
thing.
the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, what will really like elevate that is finding your purpose. Once you find your purpose, you don't need to
Right.
worry about nothing else. Like you don't go from hobby to hobby to hobby because what God calls you to do, you gonna intrinsically be fulfilled, and the extrinsic is just gonna come.
Super fun.
So
Pick up that phone when you call.
I love that. So it sounds like everybody's intrinsically. That's what keeps you going. Something like intrinsic.
Yeah, that.
And so a good question that is coming to me is like, so do y'all intentionally motivate others, right? Because we all do things that like keep other people going, even though we do it for ourselves. So are there moments where you like intentionally try to like motivate other people?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and there's two things about that too, because sometimes I got little bros that I always intentionally like motivates, and they feed off that shit. Some people you just motivate, they just there for the situation. They just there, like, oh, I listen to you. Then later on, it's nothing showed about it, and then they come back to you about the same shit, and it's like, so you just here for what? But I agree with that, and that shit actually works, and people actually do that, and that's like a God-given thing. That's our deed to the earth. Like we gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
Why not be motivational towards each other and lift each other up? So I'm intentionally motivating everybody. Shit, I'm telling everybody to get on their grizzly. You feel me? Like we all gotta get it. Like the thing is, I think why people aren't motivating other people is because we live in a selfish ass time. You feel me? Like it's cutthroat out here. Everybody trying to get somewhere first before they get to helping or establish or putting somebody on, when it's like, why don't we just build each other up together? So while I'm motivating you, you feel me, you motivate me to do some shit. And if you can't, like, I ain't gonna feel no type of way, because like I still want to see you motivated and get on your grizzly. So you feel me, like I'm always gonna intentionally motivate my peoples to do better and like push forward. I don't care how long it take. When you get there, that's the purpose. You feel me? It's not a race, it's a marathon. Shout out to my boy Nipsey Hussle, man.
period.
I think to challenge it a little bit, you were saying, why can't we all bring each other up, right? Simultaneously, this just reminds me of where Jay-Z received a lot of ridicule because he partnered with the NFL, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, why he not giving Kaepernick a contract or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, sometimes you might have to get in that circle and establish yourself first. And
No
then
doubt
you
about
can
it. Definitely
pull
no
other
doubt about
people
it.
in, you know, before it's like, okay, cool, like I'm coming in with my niggas, and that's the quickest way to boot out the circle.
Yeah, niggas didn't understand. My bad.
I think you finna drop some shit.
Niggas didn't understand Jay-Z's contract and play when he
Right.
got established to the NFL. So we was expecting more than what he could. Let's not get it twisted. He supported Kaepernick 100% of the way.
Right.
But, you know, as far as getting him a contract, he ain't an owner of a team.
Not.
He ain't calling the players like that. My bad, J-Rock. Go ahead. Mark on that. That was it?
You pinpointed the point.
Oh, fact.
Pinpointed
Like,
the point.
drop the pen. You feel me? Drop the pen and that it right there. Shit.
I intentionally motivate people because I know the struggle.
Yeah.
I know the struggle of motivation. So I just try to do my best with everybody. Like with Rock in the film, I understand the struggle of film life, and I understand the struggle of entrepreneurial life, and I understand the struggle of personal life, having to pay rent and utilities and stuff. So it's like
Talk to him.
you can get burnt out mixing all that together. So I just try to keep him like, hey, keep going, bro. Because imagine where you was 5 years ago and look where you are now. Now imagine where you're going to be in 5 years. So you just got to keep going, and not just for you, but for us. because we see your transition, we saw your journey.
Progression.
So it's inspiring us, so you got to keep. But he's inspiring us. Who inspiring him? So I just try to intentionally inspire
Praying for me.
all my niggas. Like,
Right.
Because honestly, me inspiring them is inspiring my damn self. It's like, all right, I see them keep going, so I got to keep going. So I intentionally do that. I do it. It may come. I honestly do it for a selfish reason.
You know what's crazy? That's actually
okay though.
That's actually a form of intrinsic motivation. But I'm sorry.
Love that. And you just brought me to another point, because like, I personally don't feel good if I'm not elevating others.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not like, oh, if I don't elevate others, I'm gonna feel down. It's like, no, like that is my natural thing to elevate others.
Yeah.
And so like, in looking at ways we intentionally motivate people, like, how exactly do y'all fill other people's cup? What I mean by that is like, we see when other people's cups are empty. Flies get in it and shit, right? I mean, so like when we see someone's cup is empty, like how do we fill other people's cups? If you even feel the need to, right? But if you are one of those people who's like a cup filler, like how exactly?
That's what I'm saying. Is that like a what's those things called? An analogy or something?
Yeah. So
like,
like pretty much, how do you
do?
pick? How do you personally pick people back up when you see they're down?
Oh,
when they're
you.
not as motivated?
Oh, okay. My bad. I just you see, I was over here struggling to see. I'm like, what is that? An analogy or
Facts.
something?
Blame it on the ganja.
How do I feel? The show 99. You know. How do I feel other people's cup? Man, it come from, like Shay said, it come from being in that spot. You feel me? You don't want nobody else to be in that spot. So like, why would I let you put yourself in a hole that I was in and I got the fuck out of? You think like shit, you might not respond to it how I did. You feel me? Because everybody ain't built to respond to shit same way. You know, when you get in the same situation type shit. So I'm gonna fucking, you feel me, stop that off miles away. You feel me? I'm gonna give you warning signs, red flags. This ain't Six Flags. You feel me? You feel me? This is red.
He will.
This is red flags. I'm gonna let you know miles ahead. Like, look, we need to get on this. This need to be in order. You feel me? Like, you don't want to do this. Like, think about this. You feel me? Like, if you acting out of spite, calm down. Like, think your shit logically, not emotionally. Like, and don't be trying to search for a reaction too. You feel me? Like, don't do it because I'm trying to get something out the way, or I'm trying to like do this for an external reward. You feel me? Do this so you can set yourself up. That's how I motivate people. Like, I'd be like, man, fuck the money, fuck the cars, you know, because all that shit gonna be there and everything. But like, what's gonna make you happy, nigga? Like, is you gonna be cool getting up out the bed every day, being happy, doing whatever the fuck you doing? Because I got my shit in order. You feel me? Like, that's how you need to be. I got my shit in order. Can't nothing take my shit out of order. And you feel me? That's how I motivate people. You gotta show them. I'm just saying the same old shit in the circle now. Shit.
I just hype niggas up. I'd be like, look, bro, you remember where you was at 5 years ago?
Man, what RR say?
You was a bum. Look at you now. You're not a bum no more. Like, hey, you gotta keep going. No, you gotta really tell them. You gotta let them. You gotta compliment them. You gotta hype them up. You gotta let them know where they came from.
Compliment sandwich.
I just be telling people like, hey, you came a long way and you can't stop right now. So you gotta keep going, or I'll beat your ass.
You are you are embodying, in case a bum try to touch me.
Damn.
I can't be no bum, and I can't have bum friends. That's it. I just can't. I won't allow it. Or I'm beating y'all ass. Right. Period.
Yeah, it's definitely important to make sure even your friends' cups are full. If you see them slacking on an idea that they presented to you, then it's always like, what's going on with this idea? With this, what's going on? It's like, J-Rock, where's the film? What's going on? You told me about this 2 months ago.
Yeah. Facts.
I need an update now.
Yeah.
You want people like that though. In my opinion, like,
Need them.
I'd rather have my people on my ass. No
Got
homo.
to. Then in that same sense, I just seen, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and then I put up last night. We need some praying friends, G. You need them, bro. You know, everybody not that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody a prayer warrior in this motherfucker. But you gonna we wow, it's a lot of bugs. But we need that though. You know what I'm saying? We actually need that. We need them, bro. We need them. They are important. They're essential, because if you don't know no better, I got a lot of gospel homies. I don't know if that's the right thing to say.
No, it is.
But they be, hey man, let's pray. I'm like, nigga, what, right now? It's 2 in the morning. Yeah, bro, let's do it.
You need to feel the spirit. You need to feel the spirit.
We
right?
never good enough for prayer.
Exactly.
What do you do, Reggie?
Wow.
I thought we was going
quiet
knock
over
past
there.
that.
Okay.
I'm just basking in this moment of this crossover. To be honest,
Thought
man.
niggas wasn't gonna pass that.
I battle with how exactly I fill people's cups because on one hand, right, I try to be that living testament. Like one thing about me is I've reached a point in my life where like I have no shame. Like I will tell my stories. I will show you like my mess ups, my successes, and all that. So I try to like model that behavior. But like on another point, I will congratulate the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like I will, and we talked about this in another episode. I will gas your ass up in real life. Like no, I will speak life into you. And so like I think both of those ways. I try to lead by example. And I think I'm open enough in just how I move, especially at this point in my life, at 27, about to be 28, in 2020, like the way that I move.
Reggie old as hell.
Hey, fuck you.
Damn near 50.
But okay, fuck all
How you feel
y'all.
about Reggie?
Oh, he's the oldest
That
nigga here.
man's 40 in this bitch.
Damn, son. We
Definitely
gonna
not.
get on y'all ass later.
But nah, so I think that's how I
28.
do it. That's how I do it, though. If I'm not leading by example, I am literally just like speaking life into another person. And I think that's all I can ask for. Shit, I'm not paying your bills. Like,
No, I can't do that. I could barely pay mine. Like,
Literally.
literally.
can't buy your OnlyFans, but I share it. Like, what do you need? I'm sure
Yeah.
you love.
Repost.
Yeah.
No, for real.
I might find a way to partner though. I might find a way to partner. Not
Partner and OnlyFans.
It's gonna be his
I
Sam,
was
I got
about
one
to say
foot in,
that.
1 foot out. I put my feet, you put your titty.
That's a working relationship. We'll get it done. We'll make money. Don't worry. I got pretty feet.
Wow.
Put your titty on my foot. Now we got a titty foot.
Right. hey, that just reminded me of a joke.
Oh God.
Let us hear it, I guess.
Is it funny?
We got time for
Why can't a nose be 12 inches?
Gotta be a
Because
foot.
it's.
Marv with the win. Marv with the win.
I was like, what the hell?
Did you hear him though? It was cold.
It
I
was the
so
tone for
pissed.
me. It was the
so-
tone for me. He was like, "This weak ass shit, I got it." I'm
Look,
finna step up.
I got another one for you. I got another one.
Dead ass
I got-
joke, old nigga.
I got this from my cousin. Look, I got
Marv, be ready.
Look, listen. I had a cousin that died in jail that had a stuttering problem. He couldn't even finish his sentence.
Damn.
Wow.
That was the joke.
So the
No.
next question
Did
is.
you get it?
The next question.
It was clever
Hey,
as
it was
hell.
clever. I like that.
But I will also boo it and throw a tomato.
I'm still confused, but it's okay.
Right there. That
All
was
right.
smart.
So question, another personal question for us, right? So we're just talking about filling people's cups. So how do you know when like your own personal cup is empty? Like how do you know when you need to be replenished? What does that look like when you're burnt out?
Ooh.
Shay burnt out right now. Y'all can't tell.
I am so burnt right now. I'm crispy. Like I'm just in this bitch.
Crispy chicken from Port
Come on,
Portillo's.
Popeyes.
I'm charcoal in this bitch right now.
And so when did you realize though, like what was the indicators like, fuck, I'm burnt out, my cup is empty or it needs to be replenished? What did it look like?
I'm a morning person, and lately I just been feeling so drained every morning. Like for the past like 2-3 weeks, I've been feeling so drained. I haven't been doing my routines how I usually been. Like I haven't been motivated to do cause every morning I work out, drink my little tea, do my prayer, and like my routine has been off. But it's also been a lot of life changes in my life too. So, but I am burnt out, and I don't feel motivated at all. Like all I want to do is just lay in the bed and just mind my business and not like do anything. But that's how I know when I'm just feeling tired all the time for nothing, and I'm sleeping all the time. So
The lash is popping though.
thank you. I'm gonna get into these two right here. I'm not gonna get into these two. They ready to be
Hold on.
We
Like
didn't.
you said, you ain't gonna get
Get
into
into
it.
it. Don't put about this.
I ain't gonna
Not
get
on the
into these two. But thank you though. Thank you.
Other folks, how do you know, like,
Dr.
fuck,
Sal?
Folks.
burnt out?
Yes.
Dr. Sal? Dr. Sal? You said, how do we know when, damn.
That motherfucker was popping up in your head like 10 seconds ago.
Like we said, yeah. When I hit the comfort zone, that's when I know I'm fucked up. Like, for real. Like, when I get too comfortable, I'm like, man, I ain't creating. I'm just sitting at home playing the game all day. Like, something's up. I'm not being productive with my time. Like, that's when I know my cup is empty as hell and I need to get back motivated. So what do? I go look at something or shit. Like Sam said earlier, I look at my bank account. So shit, now I'm right back motivated. Let's get it,
bro. Hey, that's me, nigga. That shit is me, nigga. Cause
every day.
I tend to do that.
I thought
that's
he said 10K.
why. Hey, fake me. Hey. So guess what? Not even that. I feel like for me, and and I think that's how me and Mark connect. Me and my homie Mark and shit. It's like we get them ways. Like we get comfortable and shit. But niggas look at us. Nigga, you ain't comfortable. You work every day. No, my nigga, I be comfortable.
Yeah.
Cause it's like we could do extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna just say this shit on Psyck Discussions. Cause I'm supposed to put out this raw.
Sick.
My bad.
What's
Sick
in your
discussion.
ganja?
Cut that out.
Blame it on the ganja.
My bad.
Blame it on the 99.
99.
I'm gonna say this shit on fucking.
Sink.
Sick.
Sick.
I was finna say.
I said sick.
She drunk
Cinco
too.
de Mayo.
All right, come on.
Crossover cancel.
Wow.
All right, so look, I'm finna say this shit on Sick Discussions. I'm supposed to put out a fucking this raw ass barber class, like an e-class and shit.
Yeah, the
It's gonna be
e-commerce.
crazy. But my ass just been sitting at the computer and just sitting on my motherfucking laptop and just sitting on my you feel me, sitting on Call of Duty playing that shit for hours. I'd be
Man.
like, man, I'll get to it tomorrow. Then I have 1,000 customers. I'm like, fuck it, I'm tired. So that's when I know I'm like, yeah, I'm burnt out, bro. I gotta get back to it. Cause I fuck up my routine. Cause now I get up like 8 o'clock every morning. Niggas don't know that, but I get up like 8 o'clock every morning and shit. I do like shower, meditate for like 30 minutes, and then I just sit there and write some shit up, and I go to work.
Meditate.
But I be so excited to play Call of Duty when I get back to the crib.
Question for you, Rod. Have you ever created like electronic content before?
I haven't.
Right. And so what I'm wondering, right, is like, are you being comfortable and just like being lazy and not doing that? Or are you like so challenged that you are like you are allowing yourself to procrastinate? Because sometimes when we don't know something and we like feel inferior or don't know where to ask, we'll keep putting it off. And it's not that you being lazy. It's like, no, I really don't even know where the fuck to start.
Yeah, I think that's that. I think it's that. And to keep it 1,000, I started like fucking with that shit hard like 3 days ago. So I got the cameras, I got my schedule. I'm finna get this shit out like late August. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Talking about shit, I'm gonna do it. Cause I be seeing shit before it happens. So I be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get all this money and shit. But I'm looking at it like, wow, when you gonna do it? I said this shit 2-3 months ago. And now it's like I'm actually getting shirts made and shit for it. I got clippers and shit coming in. So it's lit.
Okay.
Do you think you needed some extrinsic push?
Definitely. Definitely, because my art, my intrinsic intuition about it is already there.
Right.
I already do it every day of my life. I'm already passionate about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not even hard to make that extrinsic happen into real life and shit. So I'm like, fuck it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? More money, different stream of income. So I was like, yeah. it's
Passive
Or
income.
just new opportunities. 'Cause the opportunity in itself can be extrinsic, and that was something that I talked about in. I did like a workshop. I actually got requested to talk to like a group of kids or teens or like young adults that were actually in this college program. That was like a mentorship that was based on entrepreneurship. And so I was like, in there, I was really talking about how opportunity is both extrinsic and intrinsic motivation for me personally, because like, yeah, opportunity, boom, sets a new, what is that, like lane for monetary income, for fame, for noticeability, for anything else. And then also it creates, boom, now I've made another connection with another human who's about what I'm about.
Factual.
I agree with that.
Factual.
Connections.
All right.
Connections.
Okay. So sounds like we have some pretty good indicators for when our cups are empty. And so, question for the table again, like, how do we recover ourselves when now that we realize, like, man, my ship's empty as hell, right? Like, how do I recover?
Creating a schedule that you can stick to. That's first.
That is first.
That's first. Then second, look at the schedule that you created and alter that bitch.
Because you're not gonna follow through with the first one.
You're not gonna follow through with the first one. Thirdly, you just gotta just stay disciplined to it, and that's how you recover.
I ain't gonna lie, staying disciplined is one of the hardest things.
One of the hardest things on earth.
Inconsistent.
Definitely struggle with being disciplined.
Factual.
When my cup empty and I need to recover, like man, just look at my bank account. Like, where you want to be at? That's what I ask myself. And I ain't gonna lie to you, something snap every time because it be like, yeah, where do you want to be at? do you want to be right here or do you want to be there?
Over there.
If you want to be there, you got to put in some work. So
Factual.
that's when I know I need to pull myself out. Like, stop being a bum. Shout out to Shay.
Sheezy.
Don't be a
I'm gonna let her
bum.
actually take over because she could describe it even better than I can.
Okay, well, first, I give myself time, I give myself time, and I be nice to myself and be like, hey, take this break.
I ain't got time.
Take this break, you need this break. And then next, my second thought is don't be a bum. Like, you can't be a bum, so, like, you got to get your ass up and do it. You got to do it. I don't even know if there are specific ways of me recovering. One day I just be like, you got to do it. And then I just start my routine over and I just do it. I can't even tell y'all specifically, like, what I do. I just take the time to be burnt.
You said
and
enough.
then
You said enough.
after that, I just be like, don't be a bum bitch. And then I just do my routine. I just go back into my routine and I just stick it out.
Don't be a bum.
Yeah, it definitely takes time to recover yourselves when you lack motivation. You gotta do self-reflection and just figure out how you want to move forward, like with your life specifically, and what makes you happy. Back to like making yourself happy and putting your happiness first is very important, I think.
Devin got that Obama effect when he speak. Y'all notice that?
Everybody looks.
Like when he say something, it's just
it's like the whole table.
yeah.
The whole table.
Strong words from my man Dev, man. Shout out to
Dev.
Suave, how do you recover yourself?
I'm kind of the same as like Devin and Shay. Like, I'll take some time to myself. Honestly, I just try and kick it with people I'm real close with. Like, usually for me, I realize I'm a person. Like, either I'm on 100 or like I don't have it. Like, I really need to find out like how to get like an in between. Like, I'm still grinding to get shit done, but I'm not burning myself out. Or I'm not on damn near E. Cause like I definitely realized, like even more recently, like I started back going to the gym and shit, and I realized like I'm more focused than I've ever been right now.
That's right.
And then literally out of nowhere, like 2 weeks, I'll be like, I don't feel like going. And I'm just not gonna. I just stop going for like a month or two. So I need to figure out like a way to get like, like some ways.
I guess
I think like you said, set like smaller goals.
There you go.
That's what it is. Like, I think I aim too high. So like definitely just trying to set more goals and then work towards those.
And that's the extrinsic way of doing things.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Need that in a little minute. Need that little sprinkle.
A little razzle dazzle.
Gotcha.
Parsley on there.
Parsley.
Parsley on there.
Parsley.
Okay. Beautiful thing about parsley, right? You should add that to the end. So this is my last fucking question for the guys.
I like that.
Sick guys. The guys are sick. That sounds like
some
COVID-19.
So my last question for everybody is what advice do you have for someone who's new to self-motivation, right? Because intrinsic, extrinsic, both of those fall under this self-motivation type of thing, right? So what advice do y'all have for somebody who is brand new to this shit? They like want to start motivating themselves. They don't know where to start. What do y'all have for self-motivation for beginners?
Self-motivation for beginners. Be 1,000 with them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that your flaws are downfalls. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that you feel all the way down, and you pick your ass all the way up. Basically, just let them know it's not hard to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're passionate about, just do the shit. And if it don't work for you, it's gonna work in the long run.
I Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Do it.
Super facts.
That's me. I'm not.
To the newcomers of self motivation, don't be no bum. Okay.
I was not ready.
She gonna keep it straight like that.
No bum
So don't be.
You can't get
Couple
Just
wet
kidding.
wipes, kiss the bum, try to touch me.
Exactly.
Ew.
Right.
Can't
Period.
get more 100
No,
than
I
that.
don't know. I just say, right. First of all, make sure what you're doing is what you like doing. Because at least if you know you like doing it, the motivation and discipline gonna come and go, but you're gonna continue to do it. If you don't like doing it, you just gonna quit. Period. At all. So just that's the first thing. Like, make sure you like what you're doing. 2, just get a routine, and then if you and be nice to yourself. I always say be kind to yourself. If you mess up, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
Yeah, it's like be
Great
kind
minds
to
think
yourself.
alike.
If you fall off, don't be so hard on yourself. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Pray.
Pray.
Say pray. Write
Prayer.
down all your hopes and dreams. Journal it, and just keep looking at it and stay motivated, because everything that you put out in the universe, it comes back to you 10 times fold. So you just gotta keep going.
And be ready for that shit too.
You gotta prepare and just do little things, like how Marvin said. You just gotta really do little things each day to get to your goal. And so that's all I could come up with. And just don't be a bum.
Man, be a bum, straight like that.
Sal?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. Man, I would say don't be afraid to fail. That's my thing. You feel me? Like,
That's a good one.
everybody fail. Everybody fail. Like, don't let the fear of failure hold you back, or not even starting some shit. Now you looking up like, damn, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, and now you a coulda, woulda, shoulda ass motherfucker.
Right.
Like, shit. So don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to start, because we all started from the bottom with whatever the fuck it is that we wanted to do. You feel me? We all started not knowing shit, not no knowledge, amateur novice, and whatever it was, whatever field we was going towards. One thing about everybody that's a professional, they didn't stop. They kept going. So shit, just don't be afraid to fail and keep going. Shit, straight like that.
That's suave.
I'll pick it up. I could say, with self motivation, just realize ain't nobody gonna want it more than you. Like, you gotta really push yourself for real. And like we were saying, it's damn near inevitable. Like, you gonna burn out. So like we were saying, be kind to yourself on them days that you do burn out. Like, just be realistic. Like, you don't have to be, like I was saying, you don't have to be there 100 all the time. Like, it ain't just definitely take them days off to recuperate. That's a part of the process too. Like, if you always going something not right. Yeah. In my opinion, for real, something you really gonna when you crash, it's gonna be bad. So just take that time to yourself and just be realistic with it.
Grab that 5-hour energy.
Sam, what you got?
Man, Dr. Sal took it for real.
My bad, player.
Nah, you good, G. It's really in my maturation, right? I've learned that really you can't get anywhere if you don't go somewhere, and you gotta start. You really gotta start. You can't be afraid to try something, and if it doesn't work, you can reevaluate. But I'll say this, just on some, okay, I'm gonna give you a step by step, something that you could do, right? Just if you're feeling unmotivated and you just don't know what to do, clean up, straighten your space up, get your mental right, because
I ain't gonna lie, that does work.
with a clear space, you have nothing else to think about. Your house is clean. Your space is clean. Now your mind, you can clear your mind of any to-do task, and now you can do the task that you need to do.
Factual.
I like that. I really do.
How's it going?
Know that.
Devo.
I's got nothing because y'all said it all. And we can wrap up this episode.
Ready.
How about
Reggie?
you, Reg?
Facts. No, I'll
Reggie?
say develop a cleanse. That means is create a system that of which when you've realized you are not yourself, you do this series of things to pick yourself back up.
True.
And so for me, when I know I'm not myself, I'll go on a fast, I'll do a detox, I'll stop drinking for a minute. I'll throw some type of kickback with people I love, or just I need people to love on me in the ways I need it. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll do this whole set of things to pick myself back up. So just develop that fail safe, right? Or that backup plan, because you will fail, you will crash, you will develop burnout the more you work with people. Then you're gonna develop burnout even more the more you don't work with people and you try to carry that load yourself. So like burnout is inevitable, but the steps that you take to identify it or like stop it or at least recover from it, that's what's really important. And so with that being said,
Drops mic.
shout out again to the Guys Podcast for being here. And I'm saying it like I'm not a part of it. Like, this is an amazing crossover.
This nigga Reggie is just, man, we gonna see you on How to Be a Millionaire in a couple years or something.
Hey, you know, I'm working up somewhere, man. Steve Harvey can't be employed forever.
All right.
So,
we gonna get Reggie on the game channel. Y'all.
We definitely.
let's go. But as always, man, we appreciate y'all for listening so much.
Yeah, for sure.
This is another conversation that shows you like that the world is truly sick.
Well, good conversation is a cure.
Just like that.
Yes, sir.
Sick.